Anyway, a few things, I guess, over the last few days. Java's still ranting and ranting and ranting. Yeah, right. Every live he's going to talk about you and Will and Dave and this guy and that guy and this, that, the other thing. Hey Java, you only happy when you're miserable and angry and pissed off? So you know what's funny, Brian? I've had several people tell me. Everyone always says, that's it. I'm done talking about these guys. Next live comes up, he's talking about you guys again. You know? So, people are asking him, hey, is your channel just turned into an angry rant channel? Oh, you know what he says, Brian? Go look at their channels. All they do is talk about me. I'm not angry. I'm not ranting. I'm not pissed off. You're the one that does all that, not me. I just say what I have to say. You know why? Until you pay my internet bill, then you can tell me what the fuck I can do. Same thing with you. I don't tell what you can do, what you can't do. I have no right to do that. You know? I know my boundaries. And I heard, well, you know, once again, he thinks he's God. And he has authority over people, telling them what they can and cannot do. You know, if people want to come on here and tell me that I'm doing a good job, you know, it's okay. But when people come here and tell me I don't know what I'm doing, I don't want to hear it. I'll block you. He only wants people to tell him he's doing a good job on that Bel Air. Now, the question is he doing a good job on that Bel Air? The evidence is out there. Watch his videos. Everything that's fucked up on it, he can't fix, doesn't know what to do with it. And some things are so far beyond repair. You know. You tell me. He says, oh, he's going hours and hours and hours and hours long, and then he gets into it, and then he's all tuckered out. He's got to go lay down on a fucking couch. He's sideways through most of the fucking video. At the end, he's sideways on a fucking couch. And I've heard this from several people. Heard it from a few more. Once again, he's getting agitated and irritated because nobody's saying anything in the comments. And he stops and he's looking and looking. His face comes right up to his phone, I guess. How come nobody's saying anything? And you can see he's pissed off. How come nobody's saying anything? There's a few people here watching. How come they're not saying anything? How come they're not asking me anything? This is one attention-starved retard. Says, oh, and then he got into all his finances in one. He says, now, Brian, there's some things that didn't make sense to me. He says, you know, things just did not make sense. He started, people were asking him about his mortgage and shit. I'm trying to remember as best I can to try to put everything together that I heard, because I heard several things from several people. And it kind of made my head spin a little bit. Tell me what you think. He's got a court date coming up with the bank, early August. He said his home is in pre-foreclosure, and it's been up for sale by the bank. And there's a buyer. But if the sale doesn't go through, he's not worried. He says he's on Easy Street because he got, I'm trying to remember, $3,000 or $4,000 from disability. He finally got on disability. But all along he's blaming the bank. All along he's blaming the bank for why he's in the situation he's in. Well, they didn't do what they should have done. You know, then again, you know how he is. He blames everybody for everything except himself. Well, he's sitting on money right now. He's sitting on money right now. That's why he's out, you know, trying to mooch a free lunch wherever he can get it. And he's buying paint, spray paint, and things for the Bel Air. You know what it is? You have such low self-esteem. You're so attention-starved. You're so emotionally disturbed that you have fixated yourself on that car to try to make yourself important. I know I hear you still say people are jealous of you in that car. You're using that to make up for what you don't have. And what you don't have is any character, any dignity, any self-respect, any intelligence or IQ level. So you shift all that to the car. Takes the focus off of you, how pathetic you are. If you're doing it with a car that's a piece of fucking shit, that makes you look even worse. That validates how much you don't know about mechanics, how much you don't know about cars, how much you don't know about fixing cars, restoring them, painting them, body work, interior work, putting in simple brakes. So I don't know what you're trying to prove. You only make yourself look worse. You know? Says, and he gets into his finances. Got to put out every bit of his person. See, Job, if you didn't talk about these things, nobody would hear it, nobody would see it, nobody would tell me about it, and I wouldn't have a fucking thing to say about it. But you are your own worst enemy, like I say. When you invite a shark to dinner, expect to get bit. Once again, you ring the dinner bell. Nobody's fault but your own. You know? If I didn't want someone to know that me and Billy had a big fight. Just for argument's sake. Me and Billy had a big fight. I hit her, the cops came, I got arrested, and now, you know, if I didn't want anybody to know that, I wouldn't come on YouTube and tell people that. Right? Wouldn't that be the sane, rational thing to do? And if that happened to you, you'd be on there fucking telling everybody about it. If you beat your head with your ex-wife, you know? Maybe you did that at one time. Who the fuck knows? Because you said she was bipolar and batshit crazy. I guess the two of you made a real good fucking pair, huh? Oh, man. Now, three people said, Brian, what he said, he was talking in circles, trying to, like, I don't know, justify, validate something to try to make it sound like everything was not his fault. Blamed it on the bank, blamed it on his ex-wife in different areas. The bank should have done this, the bank should have done that, but they didn't. They put me in pre-foreclosure when they shouldn't have. And he's saying his mortgage is paid up until August next month. If his mortgage is paid up till August, why are they trying to sell his home in pre-foreclosure? They would have stopped that right then and there when he was caught up. That I know for a fucking fact. I think you even know that. And you don't even know as much about how it goes with real estate banks, mortgages, foreclosures, short sales as I do. And I only learned that because of my ex-wife's nephew. That deals in that in real estate for many years. Deals with banks, deals with short sales, deals with foreclosure, pre-foreclosure sales. It's the only reason I know it. No one that's caught up and paid in advance until August still has a home in pre-foreclosure and the bank is trying to sell it. But he's saying he's all caught up on his mortgage. Yet his home is in pre-foreclosure. He said himself. There's a buyer. But he's on Easy Street. He said he's on Easy Street, Brian. Because even if the sale falls through, he has a plan in place. He's got one agency that's going to give him a grant that'll pay off his mortgage. Now listen carefully. I said, are you sure? Make sure. He said, yeah. Just I went back and watched it to make sure. He's got one agency that will give him the money to pay off his mortgage. And then the bank will take that money and tack it onto the end of his mortgage. And they will restructure it. Hate to tell you, Job, but that's total bullshit. And he's got this other agency. Well, I understand he's been going to charity agencies around there for the longest time now, getting money to pay his gas and electric, getting money to pay his cell phone, getting money, I guess, to pay the insurance on his car, whatever. He's been begging from people for a while to get money to just keep himself going, you know? So he's all set. Even though he's got a court case coming up in early August with the bank. Everything's all set. The bank would have canceled that. The bank would have canceled that court date and said, okay, you're all set. You're all paid up in advance. Oh, look, you got an agency that's going to pay off your mortgage and give us money, and then we're going to put money at the end. And then he's saying, well, then the bank, because the bank didn't be nice to him and help him, he doesn't want to do what the bank wants him to do, because now the bank wants him to give them another $4,500 for something. What it is, I don't know. It says, and I got about that sitting here right now in cash. I got for my disability, but I don't want to pay them. Because they didn't do what they should have done for me. That put me in this situation. He said, Brian, it was so convoluted. He talked in circles trying to make it look like nothing is his fault once again. And he's not in the deep shit that people think he is. He's on easy street. He has a plan in place. Yeah, we know how well your plans go, Java. We know how successful you are with your plans. Anyway, I gotta get going. So the weather's been a little cooler. Still in the mid-80s, but a little less humidity. So now heat index is only like 89, 90, instead of, mid to high 80s with a heat index of 92, 93 to 104, you know what I mean? I hope you're doing okay where you are. And by the way, one thing that I feel is very important. There have been 3 house fires here so far in the city, and I hear it's happening in a lot of places due to faulty air conditioners. A lot of them are old. They tell you, if it's making noise, something doesn't sound right, shut it off, have it checked out. A lot of them, what happens is, if it blows out, I know I had one at one time, a long time ago. We had a 5,000 BTU in the bedroom. And I walked by it one day, and it's nice and cool, but I'm feeling like a mist sprinkling on me, like a mist. I'm like, water, what the fuck? And then I'd hear like a little gurgling. I shut it off. And I found out what was happening was, when you put your I did it wrong. I did 2 things wrong. When I put it in, I was in a hurry. You're supposed to put it in on a little bit of a back tilt, going down and out, because I don't know how yours are, but they will accumulate moisture, humidity, water. The ones we got in here now, they are built-in dehumidifiers, which helps a lot. Well, just having a dehumidifier helps make it feel cooler without even air conditioning, but the ones we have, they're built in. What happens is, and there's a drain in the back. That's why you see water dripping out the back. There's a drain. You notice the back pan has a little, like a base pan in the car, where, the oil. That's where the water accumulates, and there's a drain. Well, it gets plugged up from being outside. It gets clogged up, the water won't drain. It backs up, it starts getting sucked into the fan. It runs through the front. Some of it gets kicked up. It goes into the control panel where there's electronics, and it can start an electrical fire. So if you have an air conditioner that doesn't seem right, it's acting up, making some noise, you feel a little mist spray coming out of it, shut it off, get it checked out. Air conditioners are so cheap these days. The house I had with my ex-wife, we had central air conditioning. We had a big carrier. It's like a 35,000 BTU out in the backyard. We had forced hot air heat, in every room. So heat, cool, and everything, This one here doesn't have forced hot air heat. So it's a boiler in the basement with an oil tank. But we have gas for our cooking, clothes dryer, and hot water tank. But the heat is oil. And it's so cheap, It's 12,000 in my den, 18,000 in the living room. That kind of carries over into the dining room. Bedroom's got a 5. Kitchen and bathroom, they're offshoots of the living room and dining room. Ceiling fans in every room, so it stays cool throughout the house, So, but that time I had it a little too far, and they're so cheap these days, If all you need is a 5,000 or a 10,000, you go to Walmart, you can buy one for under, $250. You can buy 5,000, 160, 170 bucks. Walmart, Target. That's what you have, Don't risk your life. Don't risk your house catching on fire in the middle of the night, killing you and your loved ones. If you live in an apartment building with the people living there, now you're risking their lives. Take a look at it. Take a listen to it. Check it out. If you suspect anything's wrong, shut it off. If you don't know much about it, someone that does know about it, that would have an idea, have them come and take a look at it before you risk your life or anyone else's. Have a great day. Have fun and stay safe.